Welcome back, everybody. A pretty one-sided affair there on the first map of the GG.Bet Invitational for Cologne. This is where you get a direct path into the tournament itself. This is Vendetta, I'm Stunna, or Trace, or I've been called a lot worse than all of that. So when I do think about this, though, we had Hellraisers and Fours in the first map. Opener, best of one. That's the format. Now we go into our second best of one of Group B. It's going to be that of G2 and Movistar Riders. So right away, there's some names here to be talked about. We can look at the map.
Few.
But overall, this could be a bloodbath.
Yeah, and it definitely could. And maps is going to be pretty exciting to see where we end up as well. G2, I'm assuming, are going to, well, Ban Mirage. Actually, it's going to be Movistar Rider to do so. That's a bit of a gift package for G2.
Please give us Vertigo.
You want to see Vertigo?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super confident in, like, us.
I'm not sure.
It's Train, but.
Yeah, no, I'm just blowing right through it. I'm actually, yeah, I would have been too sure if G2 actually wanted to let Vertigo go through in any case. But yeah, on the side of Movistar Riders, I guess they're not really as well versed on certain maps. Overpass goes away as well. That's one of the stronger picks from the side of Movistar, so that makes sense. Inferno, you can take it away. That's always been, I guess, a French classic too. So not necessarily want to delve into that.
Yeah, leave it kind of hanging around. But that does eliminate Vertigo last. They let it float for a while.
Yeah, it's Nuke also being in there till the bitter end almost.
Bitter end.
Yeah, but we do end up on Train. Again, somewhat surprisingly, again, normally when you play best of one series, they do end up on, I guess, even ground for both teams. This is a map that neither team really has found too much success on.
Sorry.
Yeah, just the cowlick on
Dude,
point.
I mean, it's something I've been fighting for like 29 years straight now. So it's not like it's ever going to go away. You just kind of have to embrace it and comb with it. Anyway,
yeah, fair enough.
Talking about combing with it, we're going to be combing through the train yards right now. That is where the veto ended up, in case you missed the whole graphic. In case you missed all of that in the cowlick discussion. It's G2 that had the option to play Vertigo or Train. They end up going with Train. So that's what we're going to see. We have a knife round to decide the sides here for these two teams. And just looking at this matchup, both of these teams would love a slot in Cologne.
Oh, absolutely. And I think maybe more so for G2, it means more to them, considering they've had, I guess they have higher expectations to them. Being the G2 name, obviously the players on the team, they feel like they probably should be, one of the name stays at pretty much every premier event. Obviously didn't get an invite for Cologne, and I think that's fair enough considering their performances as of late. Now they kind of have to show that they've actually earned it, right? And they have quite some teams to go through eventually. Obviously we have Liquid in Group A. Still in the fighting for this, but if you want to make sure that you're a worthy participant, you got to beat all the teams trying to get to that place.
Yeah, and the thing about G2, and we were talking a little bit about this earlier, was the fact that they had a little bit the show in not Chicago, in Dallas, just getting the American cities confused. But yes, in Dallas at the DreamHack Masters, they had something on the slate. They made all the way to quarters. A good showing for French CS overall when you think about G2, now looking a little bit better when you think about the fact that Vitality is owning.
Yeah, very much so.
This bodes well for the French region as a whole, and it's really nice to see them kind of come back online, kind of a resurgence, if you will. Surely it's taken a few roster adjustments. Surely it's taken a little bit of pandemonium, but they've gotten there.
Yeah, and it took them actually, a bit of a go-around to actually bring in newer players in that sense. Obviously, we have Lucky and Jax. Now they're obviously, I guess, the total fixtures in the G2 lineup, they're not, I guess, new players in that sense, but still fairly new to the pro scene and all things considered. And same thing for Amanek, again, new face in French teams. He had to go to NA really to make his mark on the Counter-Strike world before he was even, I guess, considered by the French teams to be a part of their top tier lineups.
Yeah, it's just part of the I guess maturing process as a player, right?
Yeah, no, that's true.
This is a guy that was able to put up a good showing with Misfits. He's also, I think he was down there at LDLC for a little bit, and then, they kind of went separate ways. We talk about him and Deva Duvek being this tandem, like this tag team duo. Now he finds himself with G2, and it seems as though he's found a comfort level as well. I, for one, have seen this man rock turntables at an after party in Valencia, and I never thought I would see it, but it's true. He is quite the DJ. You should ask him about that sometime.
Really? Yeah, I would not expect that.
Really didn't expect it myself. I don't think he even expected it, but he did it. No matter what they say, he did it. And this was during the Misfits days. So
yeah, not bad. He's known to rock a few heads on the server as well.
That does help.
He's been one of the, I guess, more surprising French talents to come out of France, surprisingly, French player. One of the, I guess, more unexpected players really to come out from that region as of late, I'd say, because he had to go that unorthodox path of not necessarily just going from French team to French team and gradually making it to a Vitality or a G2, but yeah, going through NA. to open the doors for himself.
I think the one thing that I'm going to look at here on train, at least with these two teams, is the AWPs, right? I mean,
Yep.
we always are going to talk about Kenny S with the AWP and, you know, what he can do with it, can't do with it. But just having these two teams go to toe-to-toe on a map where the op is going to have a very centric level is probably going to be a telling sign.
Yeah, definitely so. And if we get Dallas Kenny, then I think this might be a rough one for Movistar Riders because he was, well, lighting people up left and right. And that's obviously what you want to see. We haven't seen it enough, I want to say, for the last 2.5, 3 years out of Kenny, not to the level that we expect, but we know that he has it in him at any given point to unleash. So that's going to be a fun battle to kind of continue on watching. And on the side of Movistar Riders, obviously not the same kind of brand names as you have on G2, but I do think it's fair to give them a shout out. I mean, you do have Mixwell, obviously, by far the most well-known player on that side, who's came home from NA, very successful tenure in Optic, and now wanted to kind of bring his own country to the forefront of Counter-Strike, which I think is admirable. It's a super tough task, obviously, because small country, limited amount of, I guess, player base to pick from, but right. I think what he's done with Movistar Riders so far is pretty promising.
You might know a thing or two about that. I mean, you are from Norway.
Yeah, it's not exactly the forefront of Counter-Strike, at least not CSGO. But yeah, no, every now and again it becomes tough, and you kind of have to have these players that basically bail on your country for a little while, get some experience, become established, and then eventually turn back home to do it. I mean, Nordovan from Norway obviously have Croman and Rubino who've gone that route.
There's that Rain guy. He seems to be pretty good.
Yeah, him and Jacob. I don't think we're going to see them returning back to Norway anytime soon.
Probably not on the cards, especially since Jacob has actually turned Australian.
Yeah, more or less. He's become a full-fledged. He even knows all the slang. We saw that at Summit.
Yeah, we did see that. That was pretty interesting. Just a pure clash of geographical proportions, you know, which is an interesting thing. But
could be further away, actually.
Yeah, you're pretty far away at that point now that I think about it. Wow. Yes, I mean, Norway's got its woes, but obviously there's
some gold to be found.
There's a few gold nuggets in there. We'll call them that. The gold nuggets of Norway. That's what we do have. And one right here, actually.
Yeah.
For this matchup, at least, we do have another best of ones in our hand. And we saw what a best of one is capable of. We've talked about it time and time again.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike, no stranger to best of ones. Depending how a team does in this opening matchup will kind of place them into their next matchup, right? So those are going to be best of threes. Either you win here, you win your next one, you're on into the playoffs, or you lose here, you play one best of three, and you lose that, and you're out. So it's pretty simple, pretty clear-cut way of understanding it. And I guess you should also understand that this is not a rerun. No, it's not. This is
live.
This is live. This is not a rerun.
From not New York.
No.
From
Kiev?
Yeah, New Kiev.
New Kiev.
But it should be a fun one as well, considering we saw it yesterday in Group A, how that kind of shaked out with Liquid surprisingly losing to Spirit. That throws everyone in the elimination match for a bit of a wrench. No Chance definitely weren't expecting to play Liquid.
No, and they really didn't show much of a chance there at all. They got 2-0'd pretty quick.
Exactly, and that's the scary part about a best-of-3 series. So now you have Hellraisers, obviously got completely stunned on Nuke, but going into a best-of-3 series, you have to expect that they'll show a better side of themselves going into that. And whoever loses this one is not going to have an easy task, staying alive in the tournament. So Dreams of Cologne could just end immediately on day one for you.
They could. And I guess I want to ask you this, Halvor, because it's been brought up a few times. We actually, I forget, we were at dinner the other night.
Yeah.
And someone said, typical American, typical North American. They were talking about you. How did you vacate all accents?
Well, this is, I blame Semler for this.
Oh,
100%.
Interesting. Now this gets real spicy. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's pretty simple because when I started, I guess I started commentating with Anderson Semler just online, right? I would just be a bit of a chameleon to whoever was nearby. It didn't feel natural to speak with a British accent. It was just what I was taught and what I grew up with. Mm-hmm. But because Anders is not a native speaker, even though he has a British-ish accent, and Semler was an American, it just felt natural to go with an American one. And then I did it in a British one at Katowice, the first event I did, and everyone's just massively confused. So,
well, it has confused a few people over time.
Yeah, so I just kind of had to stick with something, and an American was what it was.
Yes. Well, I guess there are worse alternatives, but we do have a knife round on our hands, the alternative to deciding who's going to be starting on what side here for this best of one between Movistar Riders and G2 Esports. It looks like they brought it down to Ivy. I'm not going to go ahead and commentate a full-on knife round, but is there any sort of benefit starting CT here, obviously?
Yeah, no, I think this is one of the very, if not the last map that is very CT-sided, left in the map pool. I think we've gotten pretty extensive evidence of the fact that Nuke is no longer that 12-3 map anymore on CT side. It's not a guaranteed easy side for you. Train seemingly is the one map that's still proving to be a tall task to deal with for a lot of T sides. I guess the only other map that's really like one-sided in that sense probably would be Cash, right? But that's not even in the map pool anymore. So
you don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah, and that would have been the opposite route as well. That would have been T side. That's been pretty tough to deal with.
Yeah, and tough to deal with will be the knife round. Now that it's all done and dusted, it will be Movistar Riders that start over on the CT side. That's an interesting little idea there, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, he kind of caught us out there, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's very I think I've just got the newest troll lined up in a half, you know. Anyway, it's going to be that of Movistar Riders and CT side, as I said, and here we are with a pistol round underway. Heavy Ivy presence from the side of G2. They want to do it with quickness. They want to dictate some pace early on, and rightfully so. Jack's coming out with a big headshot on the Soaker. That's not going to help the defense here for the CT side.
Definitely not. Still have a little bit of utility on the side of Mopos. Alex is the one to down the defuse kit for this one, but G2, they're going to be happy with that. Well, stray bullet that finds its way through the smoke to find an opening, and they're going to fall back. They're actually going to move in towards the end of bomb site. Just Shocks out by Olaf. He's going to find Alex as well. It's a 2-man advantage, and this is going to keep the CT side wary about Yard. I mean, it's only Mopo's really currently watching towards that end of bomb site, and he's going to be in for a real treat in about 5 seconds.
How did Shocks only take some 30 damage from that initial duel there in Olaf?
Yeah.
Like, just kind of baffling almost as to what happened.
When he covers your entire screen, like, how do you miss?
Yeah, I mean, it's right there. You almost accidentally click on the head. But nonetheless, the heads will be clicked on here on the inside site. That's where G2 have elected to go, even though they did get the pick in Ivy early on. Now the retake for Movistar Riders. Mixwell finding one. He will look to land a second to the smoke. Can't necessarily do that. Mopaz is going to chime in here eventually. But not for very long. The wind chimes have slowed down as the breeze is completely stopped, and it's G2 standing at the end of the round with the first one on the board.
Yeah, and touch on this just very briefly as we went through the video, the fact that in BO1s, you usually end up on even ground for both teams in the sense that both teams know how to play it, more or less, right? This is by far the least played map in Movistar's map pool.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure how they tossed and turned to end up on this end of it, but yeah, they only have 3 maps recorded on it with 1 win. And on the side of G2, while I guess like don't have a positive win ratio, they've played it a ton. It's what, 13 maps or so. So you do kind of have to favor the French going into this, unless they decide to surrender. Typically French.
And there it is.
Yeah. Just had to put it out there.
A little bit of trash talk never hurt anyone. In fact, it's healthy in a way. But G2, very healthy indeed with all that utility and having won the first round. Going to have some AKs out on the board, 3 to be exact. 2 SMGs to support that. Alex trying to find a scout kill there on the Ivy. It's just not going to be something that gets done. In fact,
Omenik's been playing Battalion, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, jumping around.
Peeking. Yeah. I haven't given it a try yet, but it's on my short list.
It is real good. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, it feels like Counter-Strike World War II, and there's an economy system. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a token system kind of a thing.
Really?
Yeah. Cards, I guess they call it. Either tokens or cards. They've swapped it about.
I'm going to have to take a look at that.
It is a lot of fun. Even though I'm absolutely garbage at it compared to everyone else who's just played it before.
I've really, I don't know. For me, I've always kind of leaned towards the realism games like that, the World War II realism games. So I just got this game called Hell Let Loose, and it's just released, and I'm playing it on my laptop, so it's not ideal, but I'm pretty excited about that. I was playing Postscriptum before, but I really think I can enjoy a game like Battalion, so I'll have to give that a go.
For sure.
And so will G2. They've given Movistar a go on what was their force up there. Now they're going to have to save going in the next round so they get some proper equipment, proper utility. It's going to be an interstack here. They are highly anticipating it. It's going to be Lucky that runs into him first. 1 frag. He goes for a second. The spray can't quite net him that. But it's Jax there to sort of clean up a little bit. And they grabbed themselves a gun. It didn't get to stay in the fight too long.
It's going to be an AK picked up on the side of the CTs. 4 HP on Alex, though. Soaker. Oh, got to get the drop on Omenik. Doesn't really, well, kind of half-heartedly clears that angle. So 2v2. Are you a believer?
When I saw her face.
Yeah, and so far Shox has not seen a face. He's aiming at the right angle. He just can't see it. There we go. Finally gets it, and that's the face of Soaker ripped off.
Now Alex, having gained himself 1 AK, he's going to try to slide on out. 1v2, very possible, but low HP. Make it a 1v1. Just catches Shox with his pants down outside of E-Box. Fries him up. And with the bomb there in Kenny has his hands, he just have one flash and an AK in his hand.
Oh, is Kenny going to think he's going to round the bomb train?
Oh, no. This might not go well for Mr. Kenny. And it somehow does. He just wide enough.
Spider senses.
Quite well. The Baguettes are here to play, ladies and gentlemen. 3-0 so far. We're going to see some guns come out in this round for Movistar, so perhaps a completely different look in this round overall. They are going to have an op there on Mixwell. That's going to help things just a little bit. No op here for G2. They're going to keep those AKs.
Let's see what G2 can do once they go up against better guns. Would hold G2 as a fairly strong favorite going into this map as well. One of the big issues for Movistar Riders really so far has been they've been able to post excellent results in leagues like MDL and everything, but not really been able to replicate the same kind of performance outside of it. Did not beat Giants, for example, to qualify for Blast Pro Series in Madrid. It's a bit of a letdown for them, and yeah, results have been lacking in that sense. We'll see if they can turn it around. That's a good opening, at least. Flashed into Pop. Mopus clears out Jax.
And now the waiting game begins. Kenny S already pretty low in this round with 29 HP, but there's plenty of utility here for G2 to work with should they want to.
Oh, Alex turns into it.
Should they want to traverse and hit somewhere concentrated.
It seems like Omnic had plans of his own to wrap around the entirety of backline. It's going to be stopped by Mixwell. And he's already in place to deal with Lucky coming down lower as well. It's the mobile off on train. As you talked about, it's going to be a bit of a duel between Mixwell and Kenny. See who can bring their team forward and get them some success here. It's a good start at the very least. Shox has managed to make his way back into Ivy. Oh, and he's going to clear this angle as well. This is going to be tough for Alex. Too tough.
Too tough. Missed alias opportunity there. Yeah, still alive in this round some way, somehow, and he's going to get this bomb planted inside. No one there to stop him. But now that comp's going to come in. He's going to have to fight this one off 3v1 with just under 30 HP. He's already got a smoke down. He might have him guessing, and this might pan out for him. No way, Jose. It's deaths that's been dealt. I'm using that M4, and we're going to see an easy defuse here for Movistar Riders.
We have it. First round on the board for the Spaniards. Not a bad one at all. Yeah. Keeping 3 alive as well. It's going to do good for your economy, especially considering the fact that we're most likely going to see a buy coming out of G2 on this one as well. Kenny S sitting at 7K. Only really Omnic who can't afford too much. The rest of them should be able to get AKs and a couple of nades, at least smoke some flashes. So they get set up for an execute. There we go. Lucky buys up, and the rest of them follow suit. Actually, Kenny could be, the considerate teammate and potentially drop, an AK for him. Actually, he's just not going to do that. He's not even buying an op. Goes full utility with an AK. Omnic decides to opt in for a Mac. We'll see how this pans out for them, how the tempo is going to be, because Omnic needs to be active. He doesn't want to take long-range fights with that weapon.
They put a pretty good pace here from the side of G2 spreading out in the default. And then over on the side of Movistar Riders, they have just one player defending inside. It's going to be Deaths. The brunt of the defense out here on this A bomb site, also known as Outer. Grenade do a little bit of damage, goes just a little far. Doesn't do much. Meanwhile, Omnic has creeped through the smoke. Does have a MAC-10, so somehow, some way, he could potentially ruin Alex's day. He doesn't have head armor, but that's not going to do any difference here. Alex is able to get 2, and perhaps that is where the train starts to derail here for G2. Looks like the flash going to ring in just at the right time. They aren't getting much going here at all for themselves. G2 are looking rough going into what was round number 5. Lucky will round it out himself. 3-2, and it's time for me to tell you that if you didn't know, you can go to csgo.net. There are discounts and new cases every week. Because if you don't hurry up, you might miss some of the cool things over there, like using the code Cologne, COLOGNE, all caps. You can get 30% bonus to your top-up.
There you go. Now you know. Knowing is half the battle.
That's right. An official partner here of GG.Bet Cologne Invitational. And we're back, but this time it's G2 with quite a bit less in their arsenal. One flash, some CZs, or CZ, rather.
Singular. Death's not singular. On the inner bomb side, he's got Mixwell to help him out. This is, well, off of one flash from Kenny, I'm assuming is going to be what leads the charge, and we'll see how effective that's going to be. Here we go. Flash in. Death's just somewhat flashed. Still not able to find a connection, though.
Hell? Yeah, they all get down out of upper for some reason. With the bomb down. Really good round thus far for G2, even though they haven't gotten any frags. To get the bomb down, that does help them monetarily speaking. It's just Kenny S by himself. There's just about no chance in hell for that to have gone in his way. 3-3, tie ball game here on Train with the easy defuse coming in from the Spanish.
Yep. I guess Movistar are not going to be happy about the fact that they give up a bomb plant too easily, but at least they don't lose any players. That's pretty decent solace, I guess, all things considered. Now we're finally going to see that op coming out on Kenny S, so that op battle might commence. And I think it's going to be needed for G2 as well. Been looking a little bit rough in their first buy versus buy rounds. To see some evolution from that. As of right now, setting up in a pretty standard default as well.
Default and Toad, the flashbang was there, didn't actually get Soaker at all. So he takes down Lucky with his AK, and that's put G2 off in a hard spot here early on in the round. Got two players lingering around Ivy right now, but with them being smoked off, not a whole lot that they've been able to get done or accomplished, not much ground gained. Meanwhile, Movistar Riders are just trying to find out what speed they want to put cruise control on. Having won the round prior, getting the opening pick in this one, they now are in control. That can all spin around right on its head. Kenny S with AWP. It'll be really interesting to see what exactly he can get going with that as he goes back with the bomb. They've really fanned themselves out here on the extremities of the map. Got Omanek there towards Ivy. And Jax there towards inside. There's the headshot, 3v5. As it stands, it's going to be an inner hit here from the remaining G2 members. Mixwell somehow does not get opt. It's Kenny that misses an ever so crucial shot there. That would help them immensely. And now it's all just formalities. Kenny S, 15 seconds with AWP against 5. Gets a nice no-scope there on a Mopaz. He's going to peek towards upper. Another shot landed on Deaths, redeeming himself for the missed shot into lower early on in the round on the Mixwell. But still, no time and no chance for G2 in this round. It's going to be a fourth one for the Spanish.
Well, really getting into it. 4-round streak from them. Kenny, ooh.
That was scary.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of damage there at the very tail end of the round, but does stay alive. So all is not lost for G2, but we do need to see them get back on the horse. Movistar Riders, I mean, they've been playing pretty well in, like I said, in MDL and whatnot. All they've really been missing is being able to replicate the same kind of performances in other tournaments. And, I mean, it would be the prime time to do so.
Yeah, especially considering, you know, you get to go to Cologne. You get to make a big splash for yourself. And that would go a long way. You know, that's kind of the ultimate goal here. Not only qualify, but then make a big wave.
Exactly. I mean, we've seen what it does to some teams. Once they get the taste of that, big obviously was the fairy tale story from last year. So it's definitely possible.
Fairy tale story, but a little shy of where they wanted to be at the end of the day. Home crowd does help. But right now, what's not going to help that of G2 is the weaponry. They do have some armor here to support these CZs and Deagle purchase and the saved op on Kenny S. So will be rather important to see what they want to get going. It looks like they want to lean on Ivy quite a bit with the bomb there towards the halls. And a player down in the ladder room. So what it's looking like now is a little bit of a pinch on the outside site, but they're playing up really close here. Movistar Riders, they're going to have to be wary of this Ivy hit because it's just on the cusp of happening.
We'll see how this pans out. Waiting destruction, and Kenny's not going to find the first pick. And well, just like that, 3 members of G2 have been eradicated.
Ouch.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot lost there, considering it wasn't a whole lot of investment.
That is very true. I guess just from the side of like confidence side of things, right? You'd like Kenny to potentially get a few flicks in there. But not yet. 5 rounds for Movistar Riders. And it's important for them to get these rounds early on. Again, we talked about how difficult that T side can be. So that means you don't want to let up too many early rounds for the Ts. Make them feel good about themselves and
feel good about these odds, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're shrinking. Yeah,
because right now, what would have been heavily handed in the favor of G2, it's starting to leak over, and Movistar Riders are finding a comfortable rhythm even more.
Yeah, surviving with a healthy amount of people as well a lot of the time, meaning that you have Soaker, Mixwell sitting at 12 and 9K respectively. It's going to allow you to drop around a few weapons. Basically, keep up the pressure for G2 and not let them actually breathe. And Amanek taking the knife to the back.
Doesn't feel good there, does it?
Yeah.
Amanek, AWP in the hands of Kenny. So perhaps we got just a little bit of a taste of what he might turn up to do here on Train. They're going to need to start doing that sooner rather than later. It's 5-3 currently.
If he gets leg shot by an op and dies because of it, that's just like the worst feeling in the world.
Real bad feeling, right? You just shoulder and you just get hit.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go again.
Back at it again. Well, inner smoke for connector comes out from G2. This might just be a contact play towards inner.
It might be.
That's just
spend a lot of utility out of it. What they don't know, actually, I take it all back. Luck is on G2's side. He's going to take down Deaths. He's the only defender there of that inside site. Mixwell's going to fall as well. So a little bit of an awkward passing here towards the connector. The bomb planted. G2 looking quite better in this round. Shock's outside. He's going to spot this. That comm has been made that they are saving. You can tell they pushed all the way up through connector now. They're not so much worried about this bomb getting defused anymore as they are at taking these weapons out of Movistar Riders' hands. They've built up a decent bank, but if they could punish that without losing too much, it would be worth it. But a 4th one on the board for the French.
That it is indeed. So, well, the sudden attack works brilliantly. Movistar not having 2 players on the inner bomb side, as we've seen quite a few times, actually. Mixwell being that safety net for Deaths. G2 take full advantage. It's also going to allow them to save a bit of cash as well with 4 players surviving. So have to be feeling pretty good about where they find themselves. 4 early rounds on the T side of Train, and with the potential to add to that.
Yeah, and this one right here will really help to balance off some of the money game. Movistar Riders will still be able to buy going into the next round, but as it stands, they have plenty of auto in this round. It's going to be a fast play outside. Ladder is going to be the culprit. While G2 are able to find 2, and Mopaz and Soaker make it a 3rd as Mixwell is now out, but the AWP is in the hands of Alex. He's able to ring in. Phones in onto Shocks. And the hit will continue. It's been traversed. They're going inner. All a ruse. Alex with the AWP. Perhaps he will find himself a frag or 2, but in a 1 versus 3, I don't see a world where he doesn't end up ultimately saving unless they give him something here very early on. A lot of utility, so that's 1 kill for him. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
A 2nd kill there for Alex. He's going to look for a 3rd. Now down to a 1 versus 1. He does have some utility to play with. He's going to Molotov upper. A good call, but this player here in G2 of Kenny S is lower. Op v op, and let's see what they're going to do with it.
No smoke, though, on the side of Alex. He's going to have to commit to the...
awkward
Kenny.
exchange here. He's going to hold the weirdest angle, and yes, Kenny S has gotten it done. That was a little bit of a heart attack situation for the side of G2, barely pulling it out at the end of the day. Good shots there from Alex for Movistar Riders.
Yeah. You know, ask and you shall receive. You're like, yeah, don't think he's going to go for this unless they give him an opportunity. And there you have it. 2 very quick frags from his side. Fortunate that he doesn't spot Kenny S actually moving past from lower to the sidewalk. Would have given him a fair chance at least at that round, but Kenny S salvages it for G2, and he's going to get aggressive. Ooh, misses out on an opportunity for an early pick there.
That was there. It felt like it was there.
Yeah. Kenny hits those.
Yeah, Kenny does hit those. A scary thing. If he finds the form, Movistar Riders could be in trouble.
Yeah, speaking of form, Movistar's recent isn't looking too great, just from a money point of view. Now we're starting to run a bit low, Mopos. No utility left. That's UMP. This could be really where G2 runs away with it if they're able to convert.
Could be that. Round number 11 here. You get a run boost at Ivy. Kenny S with the AWP. He's going to jump right across. No one's there to contest. At least not in the immediate vicinity of Ivy. So Kenny S will be able to perch up. Now, it might be just that little bit of an outside pinch here for the side of G2. Use a little bit of utility, maybe try to clear out this ladder room.
Down the nades go. I do like that to see that from G2 actually. That's something you talked about how meta changes, right? And how some strategies and some ideas go by the wayside for a long time. That kind of pinch with Molotovs that people started doing a lot versus especially SK.
Yeah.
When they were so dominant on train. Yeah, that kind of went away. Now we're seeing G2 bring that back. Sadly, there was nobody to get caught out by the Molotov, but it's cool to see those kind of ideas come back into it.
And Mixwell with the good catch.
Ooh, Dominic really wishes he had something else than a MAC-10.
3v2. Amanek on 26 HP with the bomb planted. And Soaker on 10. So they're going to hold on here, and then they're going to try to pincer into this site together. It's going to be Mopez coming from lower. And setup here from G2 is a real rough one. They were kind of stuck there between a rock and a hard place. Amanek finding one with the MAC-10. Will not be able to get it done. And this will be tit for tat, round for round. Movistar Riders are going to pick up this one.
This is a big round to get as well. Money just very much on the brink. They do lose three players, so that means that they're not going to fully be able to reinvest without, obviously, the losses. That could also put them in a bit of a dicey spot on the side of G2. Should be able to get everything they want without too much of an issue. Amanek again going for MAC-10 instead of an AK. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this. Definitely could have seen him win out that initial duel versus Mixwell. Again, if he has an AK instead of a MAC-10 from that kind of a range. I mean, it's understandable for certain positions if you have certain runs you want to get into, but I don't know. I do feel like an AK would be favorable in most scenarios, but no, makes it work. The sole inner player on the side of Movistar Riders has already been dealt with, and Amanek's just going to continue his push forward into CT spawn. And this is pretty much round.
Yes, it is. Movistar is not going to go for this one. Rightfully so. Soaker didn't get the memo in time. And Mixwell does catch the taparoo there of shocks. So the 2 weapons that could have been saved now have been eliminated. And it'll be Mopez and Alex. Make it just Alex. And not even that anymore. So not even a potential save there. They were just pretty much hunted down right away. 6-6. G2 bring it back. We're going round for round, ladies and gentlemen. Round for round. And I want to tell you that I want to know what you think about this matchup. Let's hear what you got. Use hashtag Maincast over on Twitter. You can tag us in it as well, potentially show up right here on the screen. And maybe give us a little bit of feedback, and we'll give you some as well. So there you go.
That's a dangerous game to start.
Let's see how the ball plays. You know, let's see where it lies.
Diggity damn. Well, let's see how it plays out for Kenny as well. He's got an off this time around. And, well, the drive-by and IV's working out pretty nicely. That's Mixwell down. G2, they're really getting a strong footing in this game.
Well, here we have it. 1 versus 4, 42 HP. Alex has got off a little bit more than he can chew on. Try to tap down there of Omanek, but well, that wasn't going to happen. 7-6, and G2 bring it back. They do, in fact, regain the lead to their side. Now the money is dire. Dire straits for the Movistar Riders. The Spanish don't exactly have much to stand on here.
With the pause in. Definitely things to talk about on the side of Movistar Riders. They've been abused a fair bit towards that inner bomb side, not having the, I guess, players in the right positions at the right time. It's been the pace of G2. It's caught them off. So early on in the beginning rounds, CTs would place 2 players towards that inner side, Mixwell and Deaths to combine, and that worked pretty nicely. But ever since then, kind of straight off of it, G2 really just pushing the tempo.
That they are. Only the pistols to work with. This round is truly living on a prayer if you are a fan of Movistar Riders. And with the first pick of Lucky, the bomb planted as well. If they can grab some guns, that will help them immensely. Meanwhile, for the rest of the half, it will be G2 Esports able to purchase up.
Well, G2 with this kind of a dominant T side, you have to think that they feel pretty confident about closing it out.
Why gotta break the windows, Omanek? We just redid the kitchen, for Christ's sake. Come on now.
He's got money to spare, though. Sitting at 11.4.
I guess he could pay for the renovations again.
Yeah.
You break it, you buy it, buddy.
Just very true words.
True words never been spoken. Alex and Death will hold on to these USPs. And now the bye comes out in the last round of the half for the Movistar Riders. The Spanish looking to bounce back with a 7th on the board for the half. Just enough utility to hold off some of those choke points, perhaps Ivy or Inner. But it'll be interesting to see where G2 point themselves. Where are they going to turn the steering wheel and gas it up? Bunch of baguettes. Timeout is over. And you can imagine that that was Movistar Riders just thinking, okay, well, here's what we want to do.
We'll see. Right now, you see the scoreboard telling a bit of a story there. Death's not really getting into the groove of things. Sitting at 5 frags as we go into the 15th round. Not the perfect buy. Lacking utility on the CT side, and well, G2, they're just having a ball. They've got everything at their disposal.
Quick pace shocks runs out the E-box. AK finds one of Mopus. It's going to be Lucky that does reply up. 4v3. Goes out of the round as well. Make that Alex to join the list of those that will not be joining us until the next half. Mixwell and Deaths now to try to retake this outside site. 2v3. No kit. Wow, Lucky somehow staying alive and actually getting the kill on Mixwell. Rather unfortunate turn of events. Oof. Finally, grenade deals the death to Deaths. So 9-6.
Poetic.
Yeah, pretty much. G2 Esports up in the first half. As you can tell, they found that rhythm there in the last 4 rounds.
Yeah. Didn't really get to see too much of that off battle. Kenny kind of just going through the motions to start things off on the T side. But G2 can't really complain with the end result here. 9 rounds to their name as they go into it. Again, even with the lost pistol around here, they should be feeling pretty good about themselves and how they stack up for the rest of the game.
Yeah, if they can grab this pistol round, that'll go a long way. The Spaniards versus Baguettes. Fast aggression here, showing face towards inner, but the bomb is Ivy. Just making a little bit of noise in the Movistar Riders, and the Halls towards the inner lower ramp. But they're going to slow down tremendously. Meanwhile, the split is on. Omnic, not having abandoned his post, is holding a little bit of a pixel angle there, because if they cross, he's going to drop this smoke and then be able to kind of bounce back. He has the only kit on the side of G2. Any second now, it's going to be Movistar that tries to burst out of Ivy, and Omnic's going to have his hands full. He's got to get this smoke off sooner rather than later. It's going to be an outside pinch from the looks of it. There it is. They've shown presence. Smoke has been dropped with 50 seconds left on the clock. That'll buy just a little bit of time for G2. But it's going to be Movistar Riders that reply with another smoke. So they're going to drop that towards the back of Ivy. And now with an awkward exchange of dance moves here, they're going to just try to walk out into hell. And Kenny S is going to have something to say about that. So is Lucky. Double USP headshots, back to back, the 2-time. Kenny S, get it done. Before he does take damage all the way down to 6 HP. So far, this has not gone well. With just under 20 seconds left on the clock, Movistar Riders have to make a play now or never. Looks like that play's going to be to rush the E-box area with that little bit of a pinch they had. Alex with one, and ultimately Jax with the last. So G2 picking up a pistol here, making it 10-6.
Couldn't ask for more, really. Prime start to the CT side. And, I mean, they were already looking so good. And, I mean, the odds are pretty reflective of that. Coming in from GG.Bet. 1.04 for G2 right now in Movistar. Oh, actually, yeah, turns for the even the worse. Movistar Riders nearly at double digits there. 9.9 odds in favor of them actually winning this out. And I think with how this is looking at the very time being, that's fair. G2 looking pretty strong. High tempo. Shock's going to hear all of this. He's actually going to push on it as well. Might not even find anyone, though, as they've all ran out into Lucky. Kenny's actually going to join in on the fun as well.
Got to get your AUGs out. Everybody get your AUGs out right now. Wave them around in the air. There you go.
Like you just don't care.
Like you just don't care.
Well, definitely worked out for G2. No losses sustained at all in that anti-eco. But buys coming out. No ops in sight. Obviously, it's a third-round buy. Very rarely you get to see that from the T sides. Barring like multi-kills from the Ropper or potential knife. So all AKs and a little bit of utility, enough smokes and Molotovs to potentially put a scare into G2.
You are correct. Correctamundo. G2 playing a very heavy presence here in Ivy. They're actually going to peek it. They're going to clear it with flash. And they're going to push it as well. It's going to be Omnic. He's just going to go in. He's going to get just smoked by Alex's AK right there. So wanted to push for information. Ultimately ends up just giving up his own life. Jax will stick around too, just in case they elect to abuse the fact that they've taken a pick there on Ivy. But it's not going to be there. He's going to be there by his lonesome. In fact, they're coming out T-Connector. Lucky is going to be unlucky, very much so. Nice shot from Alex with the AK. And this site is beginning to fall. Bomb should be getting planted momentarily. Jackson shots. Just make that shots. And alive only. He's going to be coming all the way from Old Bomb towards CT spawn. But at the end of the day, not a whole lot he can do. He's going to back off, try to hold on to this armor, go in the next round.
Yeah, just admiring that blaze of glory. If you made it to a major, would you put your own stickers on a gun? Isn't that slightly narcissistic?
Nah, dude, do it.
No?
It's your branding, man.
That's fair enough.
I'd say go for it. Well, I'd probably have some other people's stickers on there, too. Just to, you know, to kind of offset that.
Your teammates?
I mean, maybe not even that. I don't really.
Not that big of a fan of your teammates?
Not just trying to buy their stickers or anything like that. I mean, if they gave me stickers, like, I'd consider putting on, say, like a, you know, like a
So that's like a paid ad spot, right?
Yeah, basically. It's like, oh, you want this? You want this endorsement?
Yeah, you got to shell out.
Shell out or sell out. And that would be where I tell you to go to csgo.net and use code Cologne, COLOGNE. 30% more on the balance and win some cool skins. An official partner of the GG.Bet Invitational for Cologne. In the meantime, it's desperate times there for G2 Esports. I wasn't going to say Despacito.
Don't go there.
Desperito for G2. They don't have much to show in this round. They've bought up pretty much within the confines of their monetary situation.
It's working out pretty decently so far. At least they're getting some money back with the MP9s. Shock's not going to be that lucky. Kenny's still alive, though. Might do some damage. Death's within one tap range, and I think Mixwell, yeah, should be about the same now. He's spotting feet. They're really taking their chances here. Jumping back and forth. They haven't planted yet. There it is. So now time is working against Kenny.
That it is.
They just continuously keep jumping and giving opportunities to get.
So 1v2 here. He doesn't have a kit, but he was able to game himself into an AK. Yeah. So if he could take another weapon here, that would be ideal.
He's got a light Kevlar as well, so no aim punch.
It's going to be something where he backs off at the end of the day. Not a whole lot he can get done here, and rightfully so.
It's a very adult decision, right?
It really is. You could tell that guy paid attention in finance class.
Yeah. Well, there it is. Going to be able to scavenge an AK with him into the next round. Already has light Kevlar to build off of. So happy days for Kenny S. Might actually lure them into a bit of a purchase here. You can see the pause. I'm assuming this is G2 trying to figure out whether or not they want to buy. You drop that AK for Amanek, potentially. It's like Shox has bought an AK, an op for Kenny. So you rummage around and see what you can find. And it could be a pretty okay buy on this side of G2. So he's op out on Mixwell, so that duel is going to be coming to full fruition, hopefully. Didn't get to see too much of it in the first half. To see the scoreboard. Alex really doing his damnedest to keep Movistar in this game.
That he is. 18-11. Quite the showing thus far. If you're just joining us, this is the path into ESL ONE Colonge 2019, brought to you by GG.Bet. Cologne Invitational itself will yield one team that will be invited directly into the tournament. Liquid a heavy favorite. G2 could be up on that list as well. Right now, we're going to see them try to get back into this game. They do have an op on Kenny S. And some more rifles to support that. Utility look a little lacking, and head armor is almost, well, it is non-existent over there for G2.
Yeah. Luckily for them, though, it's only AKs to deal with. So it shouldn't be the biggest thing in the world. Kenny posted up in Ivy, waiting for someone to potentially run boost past. It's not going to be the case, at least not yet, as it's only deaths around Ivy. We start feeling pretty paranoid about some aggressive positioning from the French. So smokes rain in towards yard.
Quite the fight for Jackson, a very close angle. He's going to get traded out by Mopez. He does find one. Mopez almost finds himself out of the round as well with 2 HP in that exchange.
Amanek should be hearing these footsteps as well going up towards White Walls. You can see the rotation happening as a result of it. 3 players from G2 over on the inside. Might be a little bit of an overreaction. We do have to consider Pop as a bit of a pathway as well for the T's. Might actually be the long-term play as we see a bit of him fake thrown towards inner. And down we go, Pop Dog.
How far did it hurt?
I know, Angel, you don't have to flirt with me on camera.
No, I'm just saying, like fell from Pop Dog.
Because I'm a treat?
Hurt. Yeah, there you go, man. Alex taking down Amanek. That's going to give us a 4 versus 2. Shox and Lucky. Don't see a world where they go for this, and neither do they. They're going to back off and try to hold on to these guns.
Yeah.
Og and Op could be very, very beneficial to have going forward.
And G2 getting a little bit overexcited with the sound cues that Amanek heard towards inner bomb side pretty much. Heavy rotation doesn't pan out. Movistar sells the fake well enough to keep 3 players on that inner bomb side for long enough. So they do get the start that they want. Obviously, losing pistol would have been the ideal scenario, but all things considered, Movistar bringing it back here.
That they are. The odds there from GG.Bet have shifted just a little bit. Nothing too crazy going on. Still G2 a favorite to win this one.
I'm still in the lead. Still obviously playing the favorite side on train. But speaking of this particular round, it's not looking too hopeful lucky with an AUG, Shox, AWP. That's about it, though. So we'll see if Shox can find something early on. Only Movistar Riders player around this area is Mopus, and he doesn't seem too keen on actually venturing towards that inner bomb site. So slow and steady from the Spanish team.
Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. And that's wisdom you can pay for, Halvor.
There you go. What about speed kills?
Well, it does.
There you go. So, what? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and fast kills.
Yeah, but slow is smooth means, you know, you're getting it done. Cool. That flash is not going to get it done. Guaranteed.
It's not going to be on Reddit for learning purposes.
That's a pimp-esque flash right there.
Yeah. But they have managed successfully to draw a fair few of the G2 players out towards yard. Shox out of position. Might not be ready for this, and in any case, he has an op, so it's going to be a tough task to hold this back.
Oh, not when you can double them up like that. Shox with 2, Mopus and Soaker, the victims. And that's going to be enough to scare Movistar back.
But also, for some reason, scares a massive rotations out of G2.
Yep, they completely forfeit this outside site. Kenny S is going to be there with the Deagle in the site itself. And while he's only able to take down Alex before he falls, his teammates have arrived. The cavalry is here. Mixwell with the bomb plant and an op in hand. One flash. Perhaps he can grab one. He does. He's going to look for the second. He knows that player's there, just barely missing Lucky. Luck be a lady. Except for in this case, he is the guy that closes out the round. 12-9 here for the French.
Yeah, that was a bit of a freebie that they probably didn't expect to get, but Shox with that double kill, it's really making it happen for them. And even if G2 over-rotated pretty heavily towards that inner bomb site, still managed to bring it back in. Kitty, first man on site, finds that Deagle connection. 12-9. That also means that Movistar Riders don't really get the benefit of having a freebie round where they can build up even more of an economy, and already they're starting to run low. So this is going to be a pretty monumental round for them.
That it is. Big round upon us, I should say. The GG.Bet Cologne Invitational. G2 sitting pretty good here in their opening match for Group B. Should they win this, they're going to go on to play that of Fours. Who did just beat up on the Hellraisers on Nuke, 16-5. It was Sex Power, 25-10 with 118 ADR that really kind of helped to propel them. Good stuff out of them early on. And this being the second opening match, will determine who plays who. This will be a very telling sign as to how this group will start to pan out. Ooh, Mixwell with a nice shot there. On to Kenny S, winning the op duel. As well as Jack's falling. That's put G2 in a real awkward position early on, 3v5. Ominex, Shox, and Lucky.
Still low. Even with the 2-man advantage, Movistar Riders not interested in turning up the tempo. Don't want to fall into any sort of trap. And there's no real inkling from G2 that they want to gamble towards one site. Shox with the aggressive positioning towards inner. That's pretty much all of inner covered off, and they're banking everything on Ominex and Lucky. No, actually, it's Lucky with a forward position. Yeah, so it's Shox and Ominex to cover off that inner bomb site for the time being.
Ominex with 1 has the spot there towards the E-box side. He's going to catch players rotating out there and showing up into this outside site at least. Lucky, Ominex, and Shox.
Nearly grabs Soaker.
Boom. Big shot from Shox, and he's going to go ahead and displace. They can find another kill. It might incline them to go for it, but that op shooting away is not going to be very inviting, is it, Halvor?
No. Lucky even living up to his name. And
there we go.
that's a nice one.
Somebody would say something about Kobe or Michael Jordan or this, that, and the other. I would say John Elway with the touchdown pass.
I would say Pau Gasol because he's, you know, the guy's Spanish.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The guy who received, I suppose. So I probably should have mentioned a French basketball player, but Joakim Noah is not known for hitting stuff.
Well, there's a smoke onto the bomb. They've got him thinking about it. They're going to go ahead and stick it, and there's the... Oh, my goodness. That almost fell right apart there. Movistar Riders making it real scary.
But that became so expensive for G2, though. I think that, yeah, the touchdown pass from Elway pretty much baited them into going for it. It seemed pretty desperate, though, all things considered, if your go-to plan is smoke off the bomb and just hope for the best. I think one of the harder, I guess, smoke diffuses to do is probably on train when it's planted along it, because there's very limited in terms of angles you can decide to, well, place your body as you're diffusing, right? So usually, seems like the T's would be able to find you. There we go, double digits, Movistar Riders, and getting back into it.
Boom. Shox playing up close this time, throwing him a little off kilter. Mixwell not quite quick enough with his AWP. Shoxy Jesus getting it done. Kenny S and Shox on the double ops here on the CT side, 12-10. These are big purchases. They've used the remainder of their funds. Don't see any kits, but perhaps if they never plant, they don't need it. From the looks of it, Jack's making this even harder for the side of Movistar Riders.
He's going to go back in for more. Not able to capitalize off of it. Alex picking up that op and putting it to work. Kenny, though, shows that he doesn't want to be outdone.
And Deaths has worked his way out to Olaf. In a 2v4, he's got just enough cut out for him already. But to be dancing around these trains and skating around where each of one of these CTs could be entrenched, holding out. Well, that's a little bit of information right there. Let's see what he's going to do with that. 1, 2, looks for the third, not there. It's going to be a rotation from the inside. One G2 player in a connector. Now if Shox with the AWP is going to join him from the back lines of Old Bomb. The smoke's going to use perfection. And Lucky, for some reason, out there well before needed.
Yeah, that seemed a bit rushed. Additionally, making sound as well, so it's very obvious to the Spaniards that he's going to be around.
And knowing that he has the op, right?
Yeah.
So
there's no opportunity for Shox to really get into this. He's going to have to bail out. That was... that round had G2 written all over it.
Oh, it did.
Should have been a pretty easy go of it. Get 3 early frags. Just ease into it. Death's obviously doing a really, really good job of sneaking around everything, making it to Olaf undetected, and then, as you said, dancing between the trains to find a double kill.
Yeah, that was really the catalyst that kind of led to the unraveling of G2 in that round.
Very much so, and just unraveled their economy as well.
You think you can't clutch through a smoke while recording full resolution and streaming the play to the world, Halvor? Guess
Think
what?
again.
Watch this. Just kidding. But
Shout
nonetheless.
Shout out to Jordan Nothing Gilbert.
Shout out to Jordan Nothing Gilbert of San Diego, California. Also, shout out to Toronto Raptors for winning
The NBA Finals.
the NBA Finals, 6-6. They have done it.
They really have, and Movistar might be about to do it, or maybe Jax.
Yeah, not a lot of purchasing power here from the side of G2. The stack has already proved to be quite the thorn in the side of Movistar. 2v2 now. AWP is going to ring out, and it's just Soaker. 1v1. Somehow, this one has gone all the way to a 1v1. We're going to split the cams here for you. It's going to be Shox with AWP. He's going to have to reposition and displace, rethinking the idea of going up the ladder. And now with that off, he's going to walk his way back towards connector. It'll be interesting to see where Soaker plays. And a lot of sound cues probably being given up here to Shox.
Still only sold the idea that it's coming from back, but it might have taken him too long to actually make his return.
Oh boy, here we go. Ooh, a fast shot from Shox, getting it done.
So G2 still won back, pretty much.
Yeah, wow.
And considering just the general pace of the game, quite surprising to see Movistar Riders just ball into a bomb site like that. Been pretty slow paced leading up to this point. Just making sure they used it, and they used their utility, and this time they run into a full-on stack from the G2 side.
Quite the reverse of rolls there from the side of G2, having lost a round prior to 4v2 to an outside plant, and then
Winning
you turn
it all
that one
back.
around. Yeah, you just kind of keep it.
Well, everyone gets one.
Yep.
Probably the mantra that's going around. G2, though, securing their lead 13-11, and it's eco time for Movistars. Smoke's flying out into Ivy as the rest of the team regroups towards, well, where Omnic is placed right now.
Yep, 4 heavy over there. This could turn out to be some sort of pinch of outside. Death's taking a lot of damage, 50 to be exact. That was a good HE. Anytime. Amanek here posted up with the AUG on the backside of Ivy, and he'll be that first point of contact should Movistar Riders elect to rush out there and meet him.
They do have one flash. They also have a smoke on Mopas. I'm curious if Mopas is going to put down the smoke for Green Train, which is going to cut off Kenny S and also Jax.
He's going to have to do it sooner rather than later. There's the flash. They're going to go ahead and burst through. Did not look left. The first player did not at all look left, and it's Amanek looking straight forward down the scope, getting a 4K, leaving Mopas by himself. Might as well just try to get him the ace. They're going to let him run all over the place until Jax has to actually close the door, and it's 14-11. G2 feeling real good about that round.
Yeah, with good reason as well. You see the first player not clearing the corner, and the second one not actually going wide, and that allows for Amanek to find 4. Really well done. Movistar Riders, though. This is a do-or-die situation. Could potentially allow G2 up to map point, and at that stage, they wouldn't have too much money to run away with. It's held by their buy. It's not ideal, but it might be what they need. Oh, Shoxy's been pretty quick with these flicks so far.
That was a fast one. My goodness. Just as fast as he gets that shot off, he gets traded out. So 1 for 1. We're down to a 4 versus 4. G2 staring at what could be map point here in their opener. Pretty standard setup here is we do have one player, Movistar Riders, and Ivy. One holding there towards the bottom of the ladder. He's already down with the AWP out. He's just going to be holding a nice little angle. So he'll be given a little bit of freedom. And that's going to leave his teammates there to walk out of middle with the bomb. And they're doing all this so quietly. So surely they're about to catch someone off guard out here in the outside site. There are 3 members of G2 to defend it. They've left Kenny S inside with the AWP alone. Here comes that utility towards Ivy. Try to back off that player. Keep them from rushing through the smoke and ruining their day, and they're going to be running into the site before you know it.
There's a tiny gap there as well. I think Death is aware of it.
Yeah, I think so as well. With that bomb planted, the pressure's now been turned around. The defense goes to Movistar Riders. G2 with 4 players need to get back into the site. Lucky Jax, Kenny S, and Amanek. Just...
Oh, that's a bad flash.
It was a bad flash, but somehow it all comes together at the end. 2 versus 3, make it just a 1 versus 3. Selker here with the Krieg, and he's going to try to spray, but not today. It's Jax that puts G2.
All right, explain this to me. How does Kenny S get a flash assist on that?
I think it just barely flashed him, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be like a certain amount of flash to actually get that, right?
You would think so.
That did absolutely nothing to disrupt Deaths.
Listen, man. I don't know if you know this, but there's no rhyme or reason to grenades.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, that is very true. In that sense, it goes very much in tune with CSGO. There you have it. Match point for G2, and I guess for Movistar, luckily enough, they do get a bomb plant down, so that does improve their buy by quite a bit, but as you can see, it's not pretty.
No, it's not.
2 Galils, UMP, MAC-10, and Soker does have a Krieg, but...
Look at all this utility being expended here early on in the round.
My oh my. Ooh, Alex might get the drop on him. Oh, the shoulder peak is not
Flirting
wide
with
enough.
Death.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yikes.
Somehow got the shot off there. It's lucky that Falls and Shocks just been quick with it today with the AWP. Very noteworthy.
Omnic clears out Ivy as well with a kill onto Death. So a ton of information for him. Now the jig is up.
Just barely missing a no-scope. It's Kenny S. 2 versus 2. Mopas and Soker, Omnic and Shocks, and with the pick of that, they're going to be holding on to this outside site just barely. Bomb yet been planted in a missed shot there from Mopas. the meantime, just Shoxy. 1 versus 2. Can he be the Jesus that the French scene needs in this moment?
Get stuck.
He does get stuck, but the bomb not stuck in outside anymore. They're going to go ahead and traverse. They're getting the hell out of Dodge, and they're going inside. They know that it's taken long enough for Shoxy to rotate, so they're banking on the fact that he did.
Bomb will get planted. Shoxy at this point will probably realize the mistake of his ways. And I'm assuming he's going to just attempt to save here.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, you are sitting on map point. 1v2.
Might as well play it safe.
Movistar is going to have to play it safe as well. You can tell they don't want to go too far out of the way.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how Mopo's actually got 2 frags with that Mac-10 once they ran into yard. It has to be a bit of a slip up on the side of G2.
No one knows where the doze goes. Wait, no one?
The shows.
Yeah, something like that. 15 to 12. Movistar Riders going to add one here, just on the edge of losing out their opener. Either one of these outcomes, either one of these scenarios are going to land both of these teams in a best of 3. 1 for an elimination, 1 for a berth in the playoffs. Oof. And Shox loses the op at the very end. No problem, though.
Didn't know about the shotgun op.
Didn't know about that. The boomstick.
Well, then, that puts a bit of a damper on G2's momentum. Again, with that saved weapon, they probably would have been able to force up, but low money on Jackson Lucky. That's going to have them go the conservative route, at least for now. Can't really blame them, as you said. They are on map point, or match point, I should say. It's the best of 1. So I'd rather play it safe than sorry. Don't want to fumble away a lead here.
No, they do not.
Run
Run boost out here onto Ivy. It's going to be Mixwell that they send over. Now, Almanac is home, but there's no weapons out here on the side. In fact, 4 Deagles. So a little bit of a distance play here from G2, except for Almanac, forced to play with CZ a little bit more close here on Ivy. If he sticks around, he might find himself a few. Because here come Movistar Riders, just on the other side of the smoke. They are ready to bust out, and get it going. 4-1 set up in the defense, G2. Just Lucky to his own there on the inside with a Deagle. Looks like they want to peek this dry, and they will. Just sliding out, taking it ever so cautiously. Setting this off up in a good position. Almanac just a little too exposed there. Will be taken down by Mixwell. With the 4 Deagles alive, not a whole lot that you could have expected from G2 this round. Taking away some weapons would have been good for him, but at this point,
doesn't seem too likely. Well, I say that. Shox apparently has different ideas. Finds Alex. And Lucky chimes in with 1 as well. Grand scheme of things, obviously not going to matter too much for Movistar Riders. They're going to have enough money to reinvest. They don't really mind if they have to empty the bank at any given point because, well, losing a round is just the end of the game for them.
It's true. I'd like to see what happens over here with the last 2 players. Okay, so no AWP unless Shox Glass Cannon.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
He's definitely thinking about it because he's been hitting some shots. Is he going to go for it?
There you go. Yeah, he actually gets light Kevlar as well.
Not bad. Okay. We do see 3 kits there from G2. And, well, Shox with the AWP has been quite the menace for the Movistar Riders. Spaniards will not be forgetting about this showing. Bomb's going to be going towards enter this time. 15-13. G2 loses this round. They're going to be in a real rough spot. It's going to be Lucky trying to anchor this inside site, looking for the frags on the lower. Shox is going to be there to support with AWP. Plants Mopez against the wall. Now he's got him scared. Got him real scared to cross, but they're going to be doing it. The bomb now down. Spotted the bomb. Shox finding the frag. Mixwell and Deaths left in a 2 versus 4. Not the best.
Not
situation.
ideal.
Not ideal at all.
Did you have, well, at least a smoke on Mixwell?
Bomb still being down there, and only 1 grenade. G2, the peak there from Deaths, will be the last remaining player. He's going to be in that upper site, or inner site, I should say, rather. AK in hands, 31 HP. Holding on for dear life, but it's going to be the AUG that disagrees. He's going to have to answer to that, and G2 win their opener here. That's going to help them immensely on their path to ESL ONE Colonge. And right away, would you say that was a little bit bumpy there from G2?
I'd say so. Definitely saw a couple of rounds that they lost that they had no business losing. But to be fair, they brought it back as well. You had the interstack to kind of turn things around. But I was expecting a little bit of a stronger CT side showing out of them. 9 rounds on the T side, that's nothing to scoff at. You can be really happy about that. But I think by and large, yeah, I expected a bit more of a clear win for G2 from just knowing how much they've played Train. And again, there should be a bit of a difference in skill level between the two teams.
It should be. It would be, but it's not. What we have to do is go to a break. However, when we come back, we have our first best of 3 of the day. It's going to be a winner's match. It's going to be Fours versus G2, having just one. And then after that, it'll be Hellraisers and Movistar Riders going together in a best of 3 elimination match. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Stick around with us. We'll be right back.